Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk Cinema. Today we bring you the ultimate 30-point storytelling breakdown of the upcoming film Superman 2025, filled with story insights, fun facts, and a mini review. Let's fly in. Far away in the cold silence of the cosmos, the once great planet Krypton trembles on the edge of oblivion. A world built on science, order, and power, it now crumbles beneath the weight of its own arrogance. The red sun flickers dimly in the skies as earthquakes rip through crystalline cities. Its proud people, blinded by politics and denial, refuse to see the truth, even as the end grows near. But one man sees it clearly. Jor-El, Krypton's greatest scientist, races against time. He pleads with the Council, warns of planetary collapse, but they mock him. Alone in a sterile lab filled with the hum of dying machines, he makes a final choice, not for himself, but for his newborn son. Cradling the infant Kal-El in his arms, Jor-El places him gently into a sleek escape pod. His wife, Lara, whispers a tearful goodbye as the walls quake around them. In that moment, they are not just scientists or nobles, they are parents, making the ultimate sacrifice. With trembling hands, Jor-El activates the launch sequence. Coordinates are locked. Destination: a small blue world called Earth, a planet of hope, a planet where the sun might not just survive, but inspire. As the pod bursts through the atmosphere, flames surround it, leaving behind a world shattered and burning. Kal-El soars through the stars, alone, unaware of his destiny. Beneath him, Krypton dies, but something greater is born. A symbol, a legacy, a savior on his way. The silence of the Kansas sky is broken one quiet night by a streak of fire across the heavens. A lone meteor crashes into a field just outside the sleepy farming town of Smallville. But it isn't rock or space debris, it's a spacecraft. And inside it, wrapped in a shimmering alien cloth, lies a baby. Jonathan and Martha Kent, humble farmers, arrive first. Their eyes widen not with fear, but with awe. As they peer inside the pod, the baby boy stares back with wide, curious eyes, so human and yet not. He doesn't cry, he doesn't panic, he just looks at them, like he already knows them. Without hesitation, they take him in, not as an alien, not as a mystery, but as their son. They name him Clark Kent, raising him with warmth, hard work, and unconditional love. On a farm surrounded by wheat fields and old barns, Clark learns how to lift hay bales, mend fences, and speak kindly to neighbors. But as he grows, so does something else, something powerful and unexplainable. He lifts a tractor with ease. He outruns speeding trains. He can hear heartbeats and see through walls. And yet, Martha's lullabies and Jonathan's life lessons keep him grounded. Being strong, Jonathan tells him one evening, isn't about showing off. It's about knowing when not to. Though born on a distant planet, Clark learns to be human, not through biology, but through love. And in the quiet heart of America, the boy from the stars becomes the man the world will one day call Superman. From the outside, Clark Kent looked like any ordinary boy: messy hair, wide eyes, and a quiet smile. But inside him stirred a force more ancient than Earth itself. As a child, Clark always felt different, not just in how he thought or acted, but in what he could feel. The wind whispered louder in his ears. The sun warmed his skin in a way it didn't for others. And when he closed his eyes, he could hear the rustling of cornfields miles away, and sometimes even hearts beating. At school, he kept to himself, not because he was shy, but because he was afraid, afraid of hurting someone, afraid of being seen. One day during a school trip, the bus skidded off a bridge and plunged into a river. As water flooded the windows and children screamed, Clark, just a boy, lifted the bus from beneath, dragging it to the surface. The children were saved, but whispers began. How did he do that? Did you see him? He's not normal. That night, shaken and quiet, Clark sat on the porch beside his father. Why am I like this? He asked. Jonathan looked at the stars above and said, Son, you're not just special. You're meant for something bigger, but you must choose when to show it. The world isn't ready yet. The next morning, Clark went back to school like nothing had happened, but something had. A truth had taken root. He was not like other kids, and deep down, he knew he never would be. Though Clark Kent had the strength to shatter mountains and outrun lightning, his greatest power was shaped not by alien sunrays, but by the quiet, unwavering guidance of Jonathan and Martha Kent. From a young age, they didn't just teach him how to use his gifts, they taught him why he must choose carefully. When a bully shoved him to the ground in front of other kids, Clark clenched his fists. He could have broken bones with a flick of his finger, but he didn't. That night, Jonathan placed a calming hand on his shoulder and said, "Just because you can hit back doesn't mean you should. True strength is in holding back." Martha, ever nurturing, would kneel beside him when fear clouded his heart. "You're not here to prove anything," she'd whisper. "You're here to show people a better way." Together, they planted seeds of kindness and empathy, helping stranded travelers, fixing broken fences for neighbors, comforting others in times of loss. Even when Clark asked the impossible, "Why can't I just be normal?" they answered with love, not fear. "You may not have been born here," Jonathan once told him, "but you were meant to be here. And what you choose to do with your power will define you more than where you came from." Through their humble life on the farm, they instilled in Clark not just morals, but a compass, pointing him always toward truth, restraint, and the quiet courage of doing good, even when no one was watching. By the time he reached his late teens, Clark Kent had grown into a man of impossible strength, but with it came a burden he couldn't lift, the weight of identity. He knew he wasn't like the others. He'd never been sick, never bled, never fully fit in. Beneath every kind smile and neighborly handshake in Smallville, he felt the unspoken truth. He was different, and no one had answers. On quiet nights, he'd wander the wheat fields, staring at the stars, feeling a pull he couldn't explain, like the sky itself was calling him home. But where was home? Was it Earth, where he was raised, or somewhere far beyond the stars? Martha and Jonathan did their best to guide him. They told him how he arrived in a pod, how the crash left a crater in the field, how they'd hidden it away to protect him. And then, one day, Jonathan showed him the ship, still intact, humming faintly with energy not of this world. Inside, a crystal, a voice, a message. His father's voice, Jor-El, echoed from the holographic ether. "You are Kal-El of Krypton. You are my son." Suddenly, everything shifted. He wasn't just a Kansas farm boy. He was the last son of a dead planet, a legacy of a lost civilization, and perhaps Earth's greatest hope. But that revelation didn't bring clarity. It brought conflict. Was he Clark Kent, the farmer's son, or Kal-El, an alien destined for more? Which world was truly his? With his soul divided between sky and soil, stars and home, Clark Kent set out on a journey, not just to discover his past, but to understand his purpose. After years of searching the world for answers, wandering icy tundras, scaling forgotten temples, listening to whispers of ancient truths, Clark Kent found something unexpected, not just a purpose, but a calling to live among the very people he was meant to protect. And so, he chose Metropolis, a sprawling, electric city pulsing with life, ambition, and chaos. Here, hope was often buried beneath skyscrapers and shadows. But for Clark, it wasn't just a place to hide his identity, it was a chance to understand humanity from within. To blend in, he adopted a quiet, humble persona, slouched shoulders, nervous smile, thick-rimmed glasses, a gentle, stammering voice, and with it, a new job: reporter at the Daily Planet, the city's most iconic newspaper. Among bold headlines and ink-stained fingers, Clark began studying people, not with X-ray vision, but with empathy. He listened to their stories, their fears, their dreams. From war zones to political scandals, he reported truth, not for fame, but to shine light where others turned away. There, he met the fierce and fearless Lois Lane, a woman who challenged him, intrigued him, and unknowingly sparked something deeper. She chased danger like he chased storms, and for the first time, Clark saw someone who inspired him just as much as he longed to inspire others. In Metropolis, Clark Kent became more than a disguise. It became his connection to humanity, a reminder that before he could save the world as Superman, he had to understand it as a man. In the bustling newsrooms of the Daily Planet, where deadlines roar like thunder and stories fly like sparks, Lois Lane carved her path, unapologetically fierce, relentlessly curious, and unafraid to chase the truth into the darkest corners of Metropolis. From the moment Clark stepped into the newsroom, awkward and reserved, Lois noticed something different. Beneath the shy smile and clumsy glasses lay a strength she couldn't ignore, a calm confidence that whispered of secrets hidden beneath the surface. Unlike others, Lois didn't just see Clark Kent. She saw through him. Her eyes, sharp and discerning, sensed the weight he carried, the burden of living a double life, of holding back something extraordinary. She wasn't fooled by the glasses or the timid demeanor. Instead, she was intrigued by the mystery behind the mask. Their first encounter was charged, not with romance, but with mutual respect and a subtle challenge. Lois tested him with tough questions, playful banter, and relentless pursuit of the facts, daring Clark to reveal his true self. And though Clark resisted, feeling vulnerable and exposed, Lois's unwavering courage and integrity planted a seed of trust, a connection that would grow into something deeper. In a world filled with lies and illusions, Lois Lane became the one person who could see Clark Kent not just as a reporter, but as something more, the man destined to become Superman. In the midst of Metropolis's endless noise and neon glow, two souls began to find a quiet refuge, Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Their bond wasn't born from grand gestures or fleeting sparks, but from something far rarer, truth and trust. Clark, who had spent years hiding the core of who he was, slowly learned to lower his walls around Lois. With her, he didn't have to pretend or hide behind masks. He could simply be. Lois, too, found in Clark a steadiness she'd never known, a quiet strength beneath the surface of his gentle demeanor. She saw the weight he carried and didn't turn away. Instead, she met it with honesty, offering acceptance without judgment. Through long nights chasing stories and quiet moments away from the spotlight, their friendship deepened, becoming the foundation for a love built on respect and sincerity. No secrets, no illusions, just two people willing to see and be seen for who they truly were. In a world full of deception and danger, their relationship became a beacon, a reminder that even a man who carries the world on his shoulders needs someone to hold his heart. Far above the city skyline, in a towering skyscraper gleaming with cold ambition, Lex Luthor watches with calculating eyes. A man whose genius is matched only by his insatiable thirst for control, Lex is no ordinary villain. He is a master strategist, a puppet master pulling strings from the shadows. To him, Superman is not a hero. He is a challenge, an alien presence disrupting the fragile balance of power humanity has fought to build. Lex views the Man of Steel not as a savior, but as a dangerous anomaly, a living symbol of something beyond human control. Where others see hope, Lex sees vulnerability. The idea that a single being could overshadow humanity's achievements, decide right and wrong with unchecked power, threatens everything Lex believes mankind has earned. His mind races with schemes, political, scientific, and psychological, to expose, discredit, and ultimately destroy Superman. To Lex, it is not just a battle of strength, but a war for the soul of humanity. And in that war, no tactic is too ruthless, no line too blurred. In hidden labs deep beneath the gleaming towers of Metropolis, Lex Luthor's obsession takes a sinister turn. His mind, relentless and unyielding, births an unholy alliance of science and ambition, where ethics are discarded and humanity becomes a mere variable in his twisted equation. Test tubes bubble with strange green fluids. Cloning chambers hum with unnatural life. Machines whir, melding flesh and metal in an eerie symphony of creation and control. From these dark depths emerges a shadow, a Superman-like figure, distorted and amplified by Lex's cold genius. This dark doppelganger moves with the strength of a god but carries none of the light. It is a mirror shattered, reflecting all the power of Kal-El, but twisted by rage, pain, and human fear. As Lex's experiments escalate, the city's fate hangs in the balance. A new enemy is born, not just a test of Superman's strength, but a battle for his very soul. As the sun rises over Metropolis, a storm gathers, one unlike any Clark Kent has faced before. His enemies are no longer simple criminals or petty thieves, but powerful adversaries, born from the very complexities of human ambition and alien manipulation. First comes the engineer, a mastermind of machinery and invention. Once a visionary driven by the dream of progress, he now wields technology with ruthless precision, turning the city into a battleground of cold steel and deadly machines. His creations are more than tools, they are extensions of his will, programmed to crush anything that threatens his vision of order. Then emerges Ultraman, a dark mirror to Superman himself. Born from twisted science and corrupted power, Ultraman embodies everything Kal-El fears becoming, a tyrant fueled by domination rather than hope. Where Superman stands for justice and mercy, Ultraman rules through fear and brute force, challenging Clark not only physically but morally, forcing him to confront what it truly means to be a hero. Finally, there is Maxwell Lord, a master manipulator with a silver tongue and a hidden agenda. Skilled in politics and mind control, Maxwell bends others to his will, orchestrating chaos from behind the scenes. His power is subtle but devastating, turning allies into enemies and blurring the lines between friend and foe. Together, these enemies test every facet of Superman's strength, his body, mind, and heart. Each battle pushes him to the edge, demanding that he dig deeper into who he is and what he stands for. For in facing these foes, Superman must prove that hope can triumph over fear, and that light can overcome even the darkest shadows. In the darkest hours, when the weight of the world presses heavy on Superman's shoulders, he does not stand alone. For the battle to protect Earth transcended against despair, a beacon in the night, is one man, calling forth champions from every corner of the planet and beyond. Green Lantern, bearer of the mighty power ring, arrives with the force of will itself. His ring can conjure anything his mind can imagine. A shield with his fearless heart and unwavering courage, he stands as a living testament that the universe is vast, but so is the courage to defend it. From the skies soars Hawk Girl, fierce and unstoppable, her wings slicing through the air like blades of justice. Born of ancient warrior bloodlines, she brings both wisdom and ferocity to the fight, reminding all that courage is born not just of power, but of the spirit to rise again, no matter the odds. And then there's Mr. Terrific, the genius among heroes, whose intellect and technology form an unbreakable shield of strategy and innovation. His T-spheres hum with knowledge and precision, turning the tide when brute strength alone is not enough. He is the mind that thinks 10 steps ahead, a beacon of hope for the future. Together, these heroes form a brotherhood, a fellowship of strength, wisdom, and unyielding hope. They stand with Superman not just as allies, but as family, united by the belief that no darkness can ever extinguish the light when hearts beat together for justice. In this alliance, Clark finds not only backup, but affirmation that even the greatest hero needs others and that true power is found in unity. Amidst the vast battles and cosmic threats, there is a quiet bond that brings a rare sense of comfort to the Man of Steel, his faithful companion, Krypto the Superdog. Born on Krypton and sharing in the same alien heritage, Krypto is no ordinary pet. With strength to match Superman himself and senses sharper than the keenest humans, he is both guardian and friend, an unwavering presence through Clark's most challenging moments. In a world where trust is hard-earned and isolation often threatens to consume him, Krypto offers something precious: unconditional loyalty and the purest form of companionship. Whether soaring across the skies or standing guard during long nights at the Fortress of Solitude, Krypto is more than a pet. He is family. Together, They share silent understanding and joyful moments that remind Clark of the simple, profound connections that make him human. Even as he battles to save humanity, beneath the towering skyscrapers and flashing cameras of Metropolis, a deeper question simmers in the hearts of millions, one that shadows every heroic deed and every act of mercy. To some, Superman is a beacon of hope, a shining symbol of what humanity can aspire to be when guided by kindness, strength, and justice. Yet to others, he is a mystery wrapped in fear, an alien with powers beyond comprehension, whose very presence challenges the natural order. Is he protector or potential conqueror, savior or harbinger of chaos? Politicians debate behind closed doors, media outlets spin stories that oscillate between adulation and suspicion, and ordinary citizens whisper rumors fueled by anxiety and mistrust. Every rescue raises new questions. How much power is too much? Who watches the watcher? Clark Kent feels this weight deeply, knowing that his greatest battle is not just against villains, but against the doubt and fear within the people he swore to protect. In a world hungry for heroes but wary of gods, Superman's true fight is to earn the trust of those who need him most. As the skies darken and the city trembles beneath the fury of their clashing powers, Clark Kent stands at a precipice unlike any before. The fight isn't merely a test of muscle or speed, it is a crucible of his very soul. Every punch, every explosion, every moment of exhaustion chips away at his certainty. Who is he when stripped of his powers? What is the meaning of his mission when the lines between hero and villain blur? Can he hold on to the ideals that shaped him, the kindness, the truth, the hope, in the face of overwhelming darkness? Surrounded by enemies who challenge not just his body but his beliefs, Clark is forced to confront the deepest questions of who he is: the alien born on Krypton or the human raised on Earth, the savior who inspires millions or the outsider feared and misunderstood. In this final crucible, it is his faith in himself, in humanity, and in the power of good, that will decide the fate of the world. Because true heroism is not measured by strength alone, but by the courage to stand firm in the face of doubt and to choose hope even when all seems lost. Bringing a fresh, dynamic vision to the iconic tale, James Gunn steps behind the camera to helm Superman 2025. Celebrated for his ability to blend humor, heart, and high octane action, Gunn's previous successes like Guardians of the Galaxy and The Suicide Squad showcase his unique talent for crafting stories that balance explosive spectacle with deep character moments. In this film, Gunn infuses the Superman mythos with a vibrant energy, reimagining the legendary hero in a way that feels both contemporary and timeless. His direction emphasizes not just the epic battles and superhuman feats, but the emotional journey beneath, the struggles, doubts, and hopes that define Clark Kent. With his signature blend of wit, bold visuals, and layered storytelling, James Gunn brings a new heartbeat to Superman's story, one that resonates with both longtime fans and a new generation of viewers. In a bold casting choice that breathes fresh life into the Man of Steel, David Corenswet steps into the iconic role of Superman. Unlike the seasoned heroes of the past, Corenswet's Superman is portrayed as a younger, more vulnerable version, a man still finding his footing in a world that expects him to be perfect. His Clark Kent carries the weight of immense power alongside the raw uncertainty of youth. There's a bright hope flickering within him, a desire to do good and protect humanity. Yet that hope is tempered by the moral complexities he faces. How do you uphold truth in a world rife with shades of gray? How do you wield godlike abilities responsibly when every choice has profound consequences? Corenswet's performance delves deeply into these conflicts, revealing a Superman who is not a flawless savior, but a deeply human figure grappling with identity, responsibility, and the sometimes crushing burden of expectations. His hopeful gaze is often shadowed by doubt, and his strength is balanced by moments of introspection and vulnerability. This portrayal invites audiences to see Superman not just as a symbol of invincibility, but as a young man learning to define his own path, A hero shaped by his struggles as much as by his powers. Taking on one of the most iconic villains in comic book history, Nicholas Hoult brings a chilling intensity and razor sharp intellect to the role of Lex Luthor. Stripped of any pretense, his bald head becomes a symbol of his unyielding focus and relentless ambition, a man who uses his mind as a weapon more devastating than any physical force. Holt's Lex is not just a villain driven by greed or hatred. He is a complex antagonist, a ruthless strategist who views the world as a chessboard, and every move calculated to secure humanity's dominance at any cost. His brutality isn't mere violence, but a cold, clinical precision that crushes anyone standing in his way, whether with words, science, or manipulation. Beneath this ruthless exterior lies a genius mind capable of seeing patterns and weaknesses that others miss, making Lex Luthor a formidable foe not only for Superman's physical strength, but for his very ideals. Holt's portrayal captures this terrifying duality, charming and terrifying, brilliant and brutal, making Lex Luthor a villain who commands attention and fear in every scene. In the shadows of Metropolis's gleaming skyline, a new menace rises. The engineer, portrayed with captivating intensity by Maria Gabriela de Faria. A master of technology and innovation, she is more than just a villain. She is a visionary corrupted by obsession. Her brilliance shines through her command of machines, robotics, and cybernetic creations, turning the city's own technological marvels into weapons of destruction. But beneath her cold, calculating exterior lies a deeper, more personal darkness, a drive fueled not just by ambition, but by a desire to reshape the world on her own terms, no matter the cost. DeFaria's portrayal brings a complex blend of intellect and menace, making the engineer a formidable adversary whose dark intentions threaten to unravel the very fabric of society. She is a reflection of humanity's own fears and excesses, what happens when the thirst for progress crosses into obsession and control. Her presence in the film adds a modern, thrilling layer to the conflict, pushing Superman and his allies to confront not just brute force, but the dangers lurking in the very technology that connects them all. In a world where legends often stand alone, Superman 2025 embraces a new chapter by introducing Supergirl, brought to life by Millie Alcock. She arrives not as a rival, but as a powerful complement, a young woman carrying the same Kryptonian legacy, but forging her own path. Alcock's Supergirl is vibrant and fierce, with her own battles to fight and truths to discover. Yet the film carefully balances her presence, ensuring she enhances the story without eclipsing Clark Kent's journey. Her role is not to compete for the spotlight, but to stand beside Superman as an ally and inspiration. This dynamic adds richness to the narrative, showing that heroism comes in many forms and that the legacy of Krypton extends beyond a single individual. Through her, audiences witness a new perspective on strength, courage, and hope, reminding us that even the mightiest heroes sometimes need someone to watch their back. In this way, Supergirl's introduction deepens the mythology without detracting from Superman's central story, honoring both characters with the respect and depth they deserve. The heartbeat of Superman 2025 pulses not only through its visuals and story, but through its stirring musical score, masterfully composed by John Murphy. Known for his ability to weave emotional depth with cinematic grandeur, Murphy crafts a soundtrack that both honors tradition and carves its own bold path. His compositions swell with epic orchestral waves, echoing the timeless spirit of John Williams, the legendary composer whose iconic Superman theme has defined the character for generations. Yet Murphy's music is not mere imitation. It is a vibrant reimagining, infusing modern intensity, layered textures, and haunting motifs that capture the film's emotional complexity. From soaring heroism to quiet moments of introspection, the score breathes life into every scene, amplifying Clark's journey with melodies that resonate long after the credits roll. It is a musical tapestry that invites audiences to feel the full weight and wonder of being Superman. A symphony of hope, struggle, and triumph. The world eagerly awaits the arrival of Superman 2025, set to soar into theaters across the globe with its international premiere on July 9th, followed closely by the US release on July 11th. This carefully timed launch promises to unite fans from all corners of the earth, inviting them to witness a new chapter in the legacy of the Man of Steel. As the summer blockbuster season heats up, the film aims to captivate audiences with its fresh vision and powerful storytelling, offering both longtime devotees and new viewers a chance to experience Superman's journey on the biggest screen. Mark your calendars because this July, hope and heroism take flight once again. To bring the world of Superman 2025 vividly to life, the filmmakers embarked on an ambitious journey across vastly different terrains, each chosen to reflect the film's emotional and narrative depth. The bustling, vibrant streets of Cleveland, Ohio stood in for the urban sprawl of Metropolis. Here, the filmmakers captured the pulse of city life, the towering skyscrapers, the dynamic crowds, and the everyday human drama that unfolds beneath the shadow of heroes. Cleveland's blend of industrial grit and modern architecture provided an authentic and relatable backdrop for Clark Kent's transformation from small town boy to city reporter, anchoring the story in a recognizable reality. But to portray the stark and haunting world of Krypton, the production moved thousands of miles north to the remote archipelago of Svalbard, Norway, a place of raw, untouched wilderness. Amid the endless fields of ice and snow, jagged mountains, and icy blue skies, the filmmakers crafted the desolate beauty of Superman's doomed home planet. This frozen landscape captured not only the physical coldness of Krypton's final days, but also the emotional isolation and desperation of a civilization on the brink of extinction. The contrast between the warm, bustling life of Cleveland and the icy, alien terrain of Svalbard adds a profound visual and emotional texture to the film. It reminds viewers of Superman's dual existence, rooted in human experience yet forever marked by his extraterrestrial origins. These striking locations transport the audience between worlds, deepening the sense of epic scale and intimate humanity that defines this new chapter in Superman's story. Superman 2025 draws profound inspiration from some of the most revered and critically acclaimed comic book storylines, including All-Star Superman and Kingdom Come, both celebrated for their rich storytelling, complex themes, and emotional resonance. From All-Star Superman, the film inherits a nuanced exploration of Clark Kent's humanity, highlighting his vulnerabilities alongside his godlike powers. This story arc delves into what it truly means to be Superman beyond the cape and strength, examining mortality, legacy, and the sacrifices that come with bearing the weight of the world's hopes. The movie channels this depth, inviting viewers to connect with Superman on a deeply personal level. Meanwhile, Kingdom Come contributes its vision of a future where heroes are flawed and the lines between right and wrong blur. This iconic tale challenges the traditional notions of heroism, forcing characters and audiences alike to confront uncomfortable questions about justice, power, and redemption. The film echoes this by portraying characters who wrestle with their ideals, moral conflicts, and the consequences of their choices. By weaving these influences together, Superman 2025 promises a story rich in emotional complexity, one that balances breathtaking action with introspective moments, encouraging viewers to ponder the true meaning of heroism in a world rife with uncertainty. Breaking away from the familiar retelling of Krypton's destruction and Clark Kent's childhood, Superman 2025 thrusts audiences directly into the complexities of his early adulthood. The story assumes that viewers already know the legend, allowing the film to explore uncharted territory, focusing on the man behind the cape rather than the myth. This narrative choice invites us to witness Superman as he grapples with the challenges of balancing his extraordinary abilities with the everyday struggles of forging his identity. No longer a boy discovering his powers, Clark is now a young man wrestling with profound questions about purpose, responsibility, and belonging. By skipping the origin story, the film creates a sense of immediacy and urgency. We see Clark navigating a world that demands more of him than ever before, balancing his duties as a hero with his desire for a normal life, and confronting new threats that challenge not just his strength, but his very values. This approach deepens the storytelling, offering fresh perspectives and emotional layers that resonate with audiences ready to explore Superman's journey beyond his beginnings. Superman 2025 strikes a delicate balance between optimism and realism, crafting a tone that is both hopeful and mature. This is a story that honors the timeless ideal of Superman as a beacon of light and goodness, his unwavering belief in truth, justice, and the potential for humanity to rise above its flaws. Yet, it does not shy away from the complexities and challenges that come with such ideals in a modern, often complicated world. The film embraces mature themes such as moral ambiguity, identity struggles, and the burden of expectation, presenting a nuanced take that respects the intelligence of its audience. This blend of hope and gravity makes the movie accessible and engaging for longtime fans who seek depth and evolution in their hero's story, while also welcoming new viewers who may be encountering Superman's world for the first time. It's a narrative that inspires without feeling simplistic, offering moments of genuine emotional resonance alongside thrilling action. Ultimately, the tone invites audiences to believe, not in a perfect world, but in the possibility of goodness and courage amid adversity, making Superman 2025 a film that resonates across generations. At its core, Superman 2025 is a deeply human story wrapped in the mythic garb of a superhero saga. The film explores profound themes that resonate far beyond superpowers and epic battles. Belonging is a central thread. Clark Kent's journey is one of finding where he fits in a world that feels both familiar and alien. Torn between his Kryptonian heritage and his human upbringing, Clark's search for identity echoes the universal human desire to find home, acceptance, and community. The theme of legacy looms large as well. Superman is not just a man, but a symbol, a torchbearer for hope and justice passed down from a lost world. The film asks what it means to inherit such a legacy and how one honors the sacrifices and dreams of those who came before. Intertwined with these is the theme of moral courage, the strength to stand firm in one's convictions even when the path is difficult or lonely. Clark's battles are not just physical but ethical, challenging him to choose truth and compassion in a world rife with complexity. Together, these themes create a rich emotional tapestry, grounding the extraordinary in the deeply relatable and inviting audiences to reflect on their own journeys of identity, purpose, and bravery. Superman 2025 transcends the typical superhero blockbuster by focusing deeply on character and emotional storytelling rather than relying solely on spectacular action sequences. This film marks a bold reboot, not just of Superman's story, but of the entire DC universe, setting a fresh, grounded tone for what lies ahead. At its heart, the movie delves into Clark Kent's personal struggles, his doubts, fears, and growth, as he comes to terms with his identity and responsibilities. By prioritizing character development, the film invites audiences to connect with Superman on a profoundly human level, emphasizing his vulnerability and moral complexity alongside his legendary strength. This approach lays the foundation for a renewed DC universe that values rich narratives, complex characters, and thematic depth. It promises interconnected stories where heroes are defined not just by their powers or battles, but by who they are beneath the mask. The result is a compelling, immersive experience that breathes new life into familiar icons, signaling a thoughtful, exciting future for DC fans and newcomers alike. Superman 2025 stands as a heartfelt tribute to the iconic hero, blending the timeless qualities that have defined Superman for decades with fresh contemporary storytelling that speaks to today's audience. It respects the legacy of Man of Steel, the unwavering hope, moral clarity, and larger than life heroism, while diving deeper into the complexities and challenges that come with being a symbol in a modern world. For fans who cherish the classic Superman, the one who inspires courage and goodness, this film offers a powerful dose of nostalgia infused with new energy and relevance. It doesn't shy away from exploring darker, more mature themes, but always does so with a core of optimism and faith in humanity. In this way, Superman 2025 may very well be the best cinematic return of the character yet, balancing heart, action, and meaningful storytelling. It invites both longtime followers and new viewers to rediscover why Superman remains one of the most enduring and beloved heroes of all time. Throughout Superman 2025, fleeting yet powerful flashbacks to Clark's childhood in Smallville punctuate the narrative, serving as emotional anchors that root his extraordinary journey in humble beginnings. These moments of reflection reveal the quiet strength forged in the heartland, lessons learned under the watchful eyes of Jonathan and Martha Kent, moments of innocence and discovery, and the enduring values of compassion, resilience, and integrity. These memories are not mere nostalgia, but vital threads that remind Clark and the audience of where he came from, providing clarity and purpose amid the chaos of his adult challenges. They reveal that his heroism is not born from his alien powers alone, but from the human kindness and grounded morals instilled in him long before he donned the cape. By weaving Smallville into the fabric of the story, the film beautifully balances the cosmic scale of Superman's battles with the personal, intimate moments that define who he truly is. More than just a practical accessory, Clark Kent's glasses serve as a subtle but powerful symbol of his dual existence. In Superman 2025, these simple frames represent the delicate barrier he constructs between his extraordinary Kryptonian identity and the human world he chooses to live in. The glasses allow Clark to blend into everyday life, to observe and connect with people without drawing attention. They are a reminder that beneath the hero's invincible exterior lies a man who values his humanity and the relationships he cherishes. This disguise reflects his desire for normalcy, to be seen not just as a symbol or savior, but as a genuine person navigating the complexities of life. In this way, the glasses embody the tension at the heart of Superman's story, the need to protect both the world and his own secret self, making them an enduring and poignant element of his character. In Superman 2025, Clark Kent is not yet the all-knowing, invincible hero we often see. Instead, the film presents him as a young man still grappling with the extent and nuances of his extraordinary abilities. His powers, super strength, flight, heat vision, and invulnerability, are immense, but they come with challenges and responsibilities he is only beginning to understand. This exploration of control adds a layer of vulnerability to Clark's character, emphasizing that even someone as powerful as Superman faces uncertainty and self-doubt. His journey involves trial and error, learning when to hold back and when to unleash his full potential, balancing power with restraint. The film uses this theme to underscore a fundamental truth. True heroism is not just about strength, but wisdom. Clark's evolving mastery over his abilities reflects his growth as a person, someone who must navigate the fine line between using power for good and avoiding unintended harm. This intimate portrayal of his struggle makes the character more relatable and the story more compelling, showing that greatness is forged through patience, learning, and moral reflection. In Superman 2025, amidst the sweeping battles and epic heroics, the film does not shy away from portraying the raw human pain that even a near immortal being must endure. A pivotal and heart-wrenching scene unfolds when Clark is confronted with the devastating loss of a close friend, a bond that has grounded him, challenged him, and reminded him of the humanity he cherishes. This moment strips away the cape and the invincibility, revealing Superman as a vulnerable individual who must grapple with grief, guilt, and the heavy burden of survival. The loss shakes him to his core, forcing an emotional reckoning that tests his resolve and questions his role as protector. In Superman 2025, the engineer emerges as a formidable adversary who defies the typical brute force villain archetype. Instead of confronting Superman head-on, she wields technology as her greatest weapon, crafting intricate, intelligent traps designed to exploit his vulnerabilities and test his limits beyond mere physical combat. Her genius lies in strategy and innovation. Using advanced machines, cybernetic devices, and Kryptonian inspired tech, she creates obstacles that force Superman to think and adapt rather than just overpower. This battle of wits elevates the conflict, showing that brains can be as dangerous as brawn. The engineer's challenges push Clark to rely on more than just his superhuman abilities. He must outsmart complex systems, navigate unpredictable dangers, and confront the reality that raw strength alone cannot solve every problem. This dynamic creates tense, thrilling sequences that deepen the film's exploration of heroism, intelligence, and resilience. By pitting Superman against the engineer's technological prowess, the movie broadens the scope of its conflict, highlighting that true victory requires both power and mind. In Superman 2025, the action sequences are crafted to dazzle the senses while staying true to the character's intelligence and depth. Rather than relying solely on explosive displays of raw power, the battles weave together dynamic, high speed combat with moments of calculated strategy, showcasing Superman's mind as much as his muscle. The choreography is intricate and fluid, capturing the breathtaking speed and strength that define the Man of Steel, while also emphasizing his ability to anticipate, outthink, and outmaneuver opponents. Each fight scene feels like a chess match played at lightning speed, where every move counts and every decision carries weight. These sequences are more than just spectacle. They reveal Clark's growth as a hero who understands that victory requires both physical prowess and mental acuity. The movie's visual effects heighten the intensity without overshadowing the narrative, making every clash thrilling and meaningful. This balance between raw power and tactical finesse ensures that the action serves the story, immersing the audience in battles that are as emotionally charged as they are visually stunning. Superman 2025 doesn't just tell the story of a single hero, it subtly lays the groundwork for a much broader tapestry of interconnected tales within the DC universe. Throughout the film, keen-eyed viewers will catch fleeting cameos and intriguing references to other iconic heroes, signaling a future where their paths will inevitably cross. These brief appearances are more than just fan service. They enrich the world building by suggesting a shared universe alive with complexity and potential alliances. Characters like Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific make their presence felt, hinting at their own stories waiting to unfold. This interconnectedness deepens the stakes of Superman's journey. His actions ripple beyond Metropolis and Krypton, influencing a wider narrative of heroism and conflict. The film teases upcoming team-ups, challenges, and the birth of a new era for DC's heroes, creating excitement and anticipation for what's next. By weaving these threads into Superman 2025, the filmmakers invite audiences to imagine a universe where heroes rise together to face threats far greater than any could alone. In Superman 2025, the presence of government agencies adds a tense layer of political intrigue and mistrust. Rather than universally welcoming Superman as a hero, various government bodies watch his every move with skepticism and suspicion. They wrestle with the difficult question: can any one being, no matter how powerful or well-intentioned, be fully trusted with such overwhelming strength? This dynamic creates a complex atmosphere where Superman must navigate not only external villains, but also the wary eyes of those sworn to protect the public. The film explores themes of power, oversight, and accountability, highlighting how fear of the unknown can breed opposition even to heroes. These agencies employ surveillance, investigations, and covert operations, casting shadows on Superman's actions and forcing him to confront the uneasy reality of being both a protector and a potential threat. This tension adds depth to the narrative, portraying a world grappling with the consequences of extraordinary power in an age of distrust and political complexity. Through this lens, Superman 2025 challenges viewers to consider the fragile balance between security and freedom, heroism and control. In Superman 2025, the final act masterfully weaves together battles that transcend the typical hero versus villain trope, presenting a layered climax where Clark Kent faces challenges on multiple intertwined fronts. It's not just a physical showdown, it's a crucible testing his heart, his values, and his place in the world. On a personal level, Superman confronts his deepest fears and emotional wounds: the loss of a close friend, the struggle to reconcile his alien heritage with his human upbringing, and the intense pressure of living up to the hope the world places on him. This internal battle forces Clark to look inward and rediscover the true meaning of heroism. Politically, the world's governments and agencies have escalated their scrutiny and mistrust, threatening to limit or even control his actions. Superman must navigate this complex landscape, striving to prove that his allegiance is to humanity itself, not any one power. Simultaneously, on a planetary scale, a catastrophic threat looms, whether from Lex Luthor's machinations, the engineer's technology, or the emergence of Ultraman that endangers Earth's very survival. Superman's actions here carry consequences for millions, demanding sacrifice and unwavering courage. This multidimensional climax elevates the story beyond simple spectacle, blending emotional depth with high stakes and moral complexity. It's a fitting crescendo that encapsulates the core themes of identity, trust, and responsibility, leaving audiences both exhilarated and moved. In Superman 2025, family is portrayed as the foundation of Clark Kent's identity and strength. The story honors his biological roots through the loving, grounded upbringing by Jonathan and Martha Kent, whose values of kindness, integrity, and humility shape Clark's moral compass and humanity. Their presence, though sometimes in flashbacks or memories, anchors him amid the chaos of his extraordinary life. Beyond blood ties, the film profoundly explores the concept of chosen family, the friends, allies, and partners who stand by Clark through trials and triumphs. Characters like Lois Lane, Crypto the Superdog, and fellow heroes such as Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific become a vital support network, reinforcing that heroism is not a solitary path. This dual emphasis on family weaves an emotional thread throughout the narrative, illustrating that belonging and connection, whether inherited or built, are essential to Clark's journey. It underscores the idea that strength comes not only from power, but from the bonds we nurture, which give meaning and purpose to his role as Superman. In Superman 2025, Crypto, the beloved superpowered canine companion, is brought to life with meticulous attention to detail and heartfelt inspiration. Director James Gunn, known for his passion for blending humor and heart, based Crypto's CGI design on his own dog, infusing the character with authentic personality and warmth. This choice adds layers of realism and charm to Crypto's presence on screen. The dog's movements, expressions, and playful quirks resonate with genuine affection, making Crypto not just a sidekick, but a beloved character in his own right. This emotional connection helps audiences bond with Superman's world on a more intimate level. Crypto's role goes beyond comic relief. He symbolizes loyalty, friendship, and the comfort of home, elements that deeply enrich the film's emotional core. Through this thoughtful design, the film invites viewers to share in the joy and companionship that Crypto brings to Clark's life. In Superman 2025, the iconic suit is reimagined with a fresh yet respectful nod to its legendary legacy. The costume keeps the timeless blue and red palette that fans instantly recognize, but incorporates sleek, armor inspired textures and detailing that reflect a contemporary, battle ready Superman. This design choice symbolizes Clark's evolution from an idealistic young hero into a seasoned warrior facing unprecedented threats. The armor like elements not only enhance the visual impact, making the suit appear durable and tactical, but they also metaphorically represent the emotional and physical defenses Clark must build to protect himself and those he loves. Subtle details like reinforced plating, a modernized S emblem, and strategic seams, combine functionality with style, bridging classic comic book aesthetics and realistic superhero gear. This blend honors Superman's heritage while grounding him firmly in the present cinematic universe, signaling that while the man may be timeless, his journey is always adapting to new challenges. In Superman 2025, the magic of cinema meets cutting edge technology as the visual effects teams push the boundaries to bring Superman's extraordinary abilities to life with unprecedented realism. The film uses a blend of practical effects, advanced CGI, and innovative motion capture technology to capture the fluid grace and raw power of the Man of Steel. Every flight sequence is meticulously crafted to convey the sensation of soaring at incredible speeds with dynamic camera angles and breathtaking landscapes that immerse viewers in the experience. The subtle shifts in light and atmospheric effects heighten the realism, making Superman's presence feel tangible and awe inspiring. Superpowers like heat vision, super strength, and invulnerability are depicted with attention to detail that honors the comic book origins while enhancing believability. The effects teams worked closely with the director and actors to ensure that the visuals not only dazzle but also serve the story, showcasing Clark's growing mastery over his abilities as part of his personal journey. This technical mastery elevates the film, blending spectacle with emotion and grounding the fantastical in a believable world that invites audiences to believe in the impossible. Superman 2025 weaves powerful environmental messages into its narrative fabric, using Krypton's catastrophic demise as a haunting allegory for the consequences of ecological neglect and unchecked exploitation. The once glorious planet, now reduced to ruins, serves as a sobering backdrop, a stark reminder of what happens when a civilization loses harmony with its environment. This tragic history is mirrored on Earth, where Superman's mission takes on urgent new meaning. The film gently yet effectively highlights the fragility of our own planet, emphasizing that even a world as resilient as Earth is vulnerable to destruction if its guardians fail. Through sweeping visuals of both Krypton's devastation and Earth's natural beauty, the movie invites audiences to reflect on stewardship, responsibility, and the delicate balance between progress and preservation. Clark's journey becomes symbolic of hope, not just for humanity, but for the planet itself, underscoring the idea that heroism includes protecting the environment that sustains us all. By integrating these themes subtly, the film enriches its story with relevance and resonance, urging viewers to consider the broader impact of their actions on the world around them. One of the film's emotional anchors lies in the captivating dynamic between David Corenswet's Clark Kent and Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane. Their on screen chemistry elevates the narrative, turning what could be a simple romantic subplot into a compelling exploration of trust, vulnerability, and partnership. Their interactions reveal layers of complexity. Lois's fearless determination balances Clark's introspective nature, while his quiet strength complements her fiery spirit. Together, they form a bond grounded in mutual respect and shared ideals, making their relationship feel authentic and deeply human. This chemistry not only enriches the personal stakes for Clark, but also serves as a powerful counterbalance to the external conflicts he faces. Through their connection, the film explores how love and understanding can provide solace and strength amid chaos, adding a heartfelt dimension to the superhero saga. Superman 2025 skillfully blends awe-inspiring large-scale action sequences with quiet, introspective scenes that reveal the humanity beneath the superhero's armor. While audiences are dazzled by epic battles, stunning visual effects, and breathtaking set pieces, the film never loses sight of Clark Kent's personal journey. Moments of vulnerability, small gestures of kindness, and heartfelt conversations ground the story, making Superman relatable and emotionally resonant. These intimate scenes allow viewers to connect deeply with the characters, understanding their fears, hopes, and motivations beyond the spectacle. This balance creates a rich cinematic experience, one that satisfies the thirst for thrilling entertainment while delivering meaningful storytelling. The film respects the legacy of Superman as not just a symbol of strength, but as a man grappling with identity, responsibility, and connection, making it a memorable and layered addition to the superhero genre. Superman 2025 masterfully maintains a brisk and engaging pace that propels the story forward without sacrificing depth. From the opening scenes to the climactic showdown, the film seamlessly shifts between intense action, emotional beats, and critical plot developments, ensuring that viewers remain fully invested throughout. The narrative's rhythm balances explosive set pieces with quieter moments of reflection, never lingering too long on any one scene, but giving enough time to build character and tension. This careful pacing creates a sense of urgency and momentum, mirroring Clark Kent's own journey as he races against time to confront both personal and external challenges. By avoiding filler or unnecessary detours, the movie delivers a tightly woven story that feels both epic and intimate. The fast moving narrative keeps audiences on the edge of their seats, eager to see how Clark's story unfolds, making Superman 2025 a thrilling cinematic ride from start to finish. Superman 2025 emerges not just as another entry in the crowded superhero genre, but as a transformative cinematic experience that redefines what a superhero movie can be. It dares to be bold, tackling complex themes of identity, morality, and belonging without shying away from the character's iconic legacy. The film is smart in its storytelling, blending sharp dialogue, layered characters, and intricate plotting that challenge audiences intellectually and emotionally. It respects fans of the past while inviting new viewers into a rich, evolving world. Most importantly, the movie radiates hope. In a time when heroes are often painted as flawed or cynical, Superman 2025 reminds us of the enduring power of courage, compassion, and the belief that one person can make a difference. By balancing blockbuster spectacle with deep, resonant storytelling, it raises the bar for all future superhero films, setting a hopeful tone for the next chapter of the DC Universe. More than a film, Superman 2025 represents a bold new chapter, a rejuvenation of a beloved legacy that signals exciting possibilities for the entire DC Universe. It captures the essence of hope, the timeless message that no matter how overwhelming the darkness, one individual with courage and conviction can ignite a beacon of light. This movie rekindles faith in heroism, inspiring audiences to believe in resilience, justice, and the power of standing up for what's right. It serves as a bridge between the past and the future, honoring classic lore while embracing innovation and complexity. For fans and newcomers alike, this film is a reminder that heroes are not just about powers or battles, but about heart, purpose, and the relentless drive to protect and uplift humanity. Stay tuned, stay hopeful, and keep watching Real Talk Cinema for everything you love about movies and beyond. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Real Talk Cinema for the latest movie reviews, facts, and deep dives. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. Drop your thoughts and requests in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep enjoying movies and keep it real. Rather than diminishing his strength, this profound experience deepens Clark's character, showing that true heroism includes the courage to feel and endure pain. It adds emotional weight to the narrative, reminding viewers that even the greatest heroes are shaped by love and loss, and that these experiences fuel their compassion and determination to fight for a better world.